Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
My name is Bridget Osimizin. You're watching the KSM Show on Pan-African TV, or if you're like me, addicted to YouTube, go to KSM's page on YouTube and watch fantastic interview, great conversation, relax, look, great questions, but not with a bunyo face, you know. Why are you doing this? You know, no, not that kind of interview, no, but still gets it done. Always the legendary KSM. My name is Bridget Osimizin. Hey, watch you. If you don't watch, if you want your brain to be small, don't watch.
We're back. You know, after a very, very engaging session with Sami Jenfi, I told him, I beg you, I can't let you go. Stay one more time. Let's delve into the issues. And thankfully, he has decided to stay. So, yeah, it was so. So, Sami, thanks for staying.
Thanks for having me.
And let's do the final part of the discussion, you know. And you are talking about you think that Mahama is coming back is a matter of a rescue mission. And I think I also asked you about what you think the other chances are. And of course, you told me that it would be crazy not to say that the chances are for Mahama. Yeah. But we'll get to that. But outside of the Mahama, let's talk about Alan. And the fact that he could sway people, because when I encounter people on a daily basis, they seem to believe that he really has something up his sleeve. Not that he wants to be a kingmaker, but he wants to be a king.
Well, undoubtedly, Mr. Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen is a perfect gentleman. You know, somebody need not be in your party for you to recognize something good in him or her. He is a gentleman, and I believe he's somebody who many, including myself, consider a level-headed person. And so, no two ways, he's going to get some people voting for him. But as to whether that will be significant to affect the eventual outcome of the election, we wait to see. My primary focus is on marketing our product for this election in the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Because the problem with Alan Kyerematen, despite him being a nice person, is that he's been part and parcel of the group of people who have destroyed this country. That is a mistake he made. If he wanted to vie for president, I think that his advisors should have advised him to refuse an appointment into this government. But once he accepted to serve in this government, not only under their first term, but even under their second term, as a cabinet minister, a member of the economic management team. You recall the video where Bawumia was listing the names of the members. It's what a solid team, only to find out that that team was nowhere close to solid, you know. Now, Alan Kyerematen was an integral part of that team. And so today, if our economy is in a mess, unemployment has galloped from 8.4% in 2016, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, to 14.7%. If today, the cedi has so much depreciated. Look, in 2016, if you needed $10,000 to bring in goods into this country, you needed just 42,000 cedis, which, because at the time, the rate was 4.2. That was the highest the dollar got to. Today, if you need the same $10,000, not 1 cent more, same $10,000, you need 157,000 cedis. The difference in nominal terms is 115,000 cedis for the same $10,000. If you had 100,000 cedis in your bank accounts in 2016 under John Mahama, that 100,000 cedis under President Mahama could get you $23,000 US. Today, that 100,000 cedis can get you just about $6,000. You've lost over $17,000 in a short period of time. Because sometimes when you just quote the rates, people don't appreciate the magnitude of the problem. And this nice man that I respect was part of this economic mismanagement team who have destroyed the economy. So how can we trust him? How can we trust him? That is the question. It was Brian Tracy who said that the glue that holds all relationships together, including the relationship between the led and the leader, is trust. And that trust is based on integrity. And so for me, I can't give you my mandate, my vote, if I don't trust you. And I can't trust you if you don't have a proven track record. And in this case, I'm sorry to say that his proven track record is very bad. He shares in the same mess that has been created by the likes of Alhaji Bawumia. He had the opportunity to even resign at some point when businesses were being collapsed, not because they ought to have been collapsed, but because of cheap politics. Ghanaian businesses, indigenous people in the financial sector, our heroes, our captains in that industry were reduced to nothing. Their many years of toil destroyed by Ken Ofori-Atta and Akufo-Addo and the likes. And he was there, he was part. When they collapsed GM Bank, when they collapsed UT Bank, these were the banks who were highly exposed because they decided to support Ghanaian businesses. My mother sells eggs. She can't go to Barclays or EcoBank or those Abruchiri banks for a loan. She can't meet the requirements of Kofa Wibra. She can't even pay the interest. But if she went to UT or GN, she could get a soft loan. And you just kill these companies like that. Today, what is the state of Data Bank? Ken Ofori-Atta's own bank. In a far worse position than most of the banks, they collapse. They even collapse a solvent bank, Heritage Bank, because they claim the owner is connected to John Mahama. So that was just, they call it a cleanup. No, it was a messing up of the financial sector based on politics. And this man was part and parcel of that. When they were introducing the e-levy, he was there. When they were introducing the betting levy, baller tax, COVID levy, Alan Chamantin was there. As a matter of fact, but for the fact that he claims he was unfairly treated in the MPP presidential primaries, he would have been in the MPP. He was even seeking to lead them. So how then can we take him as a neutral person? You understand? So it is one of the reasons why clearly he cannot be the alternative. He cannot be the alternative. And I have nothing against him. Like I said, I respect him. He has some good ideas that I think that any of the, when the NDC wins, we will have to work with all of them to rebuild this country, because rebuilding this country is not going to be easy, like you said. It's going to take a concerted effort, and we need all hands on deck. But clearly, he cannot be the alternative. The alternative is Excellency John Dramani Mahama, because he has a proven track record that you can look at and say, look, we can trust this man. A proven track record not only in the area of infrastructure, but even in the area of integrity. He has proven to be a man of his word. When he promises, he delivers. You can go to the bank with his word. And that, for me, is the most important attribute every leader must have. Your trustworthiness, your credibility. Without that, it doesn't matter the ideas you have. They are just ideas, because anybody can promise anything for power. The most important thing is that, are you a man of your word? Have you shown that when given the opportunity, you will keep your promises and you will deliver? John Mahama has that proven track record. And it is for that reason that I think that we should give him another opportunity, and I have no doubt that majority of the electorate will give him that opportunity.
Okay. And listening to you, of course, you're talking about Ghana, a nation that needs to be rescued, which of course means that we are coming from an administration that has plunged us into that mess that needs to be rescued.
Yeah.
The vice president, who was a part of the mess that you're talking about, says he now wants to take the lead. He says, with all respect, Ghanaians, Enti mumfa sia no mame.
Mame. Wow.
And me the kind of what we call baby SS echo. Which means he too, whether we agree or not, seems to think that there's a certain direction that maybe his boss missed, but he can take us there. What are your what's your evaluation of his chances of being able to grab the steer?
Well, you see, in some jurisdictions, pressure would have been brought to bear on Bawumia to resign because of that statement he made. And I think that if anybody had any intention of voting for Bawumia, that person should have a change of mind and heart because of that statement.
That statement.
Because it shows that he's somebody who doesn't accept responsibility. You see, in leadership, accepting responsibility is important. It is not true that in Ghana, a vice president is a mere mate. It is not true. Just look at the Constitution and compare that to the relationship between a driver and a mate. Sir, a driver need not have a license to drive. But a vice president, per the Constitution, must have the same qualification, must meet the same qualification criteria as a president. So you can be a mate without a license, but you can't be a vice president without a license because you are held to the same standard as a president. Why? Because the framers of the Constitution designed the Constitution in such a way that anytime the president is indisposed, the vice president acts as president. So every vice president is a potential president. Because the president will obviously be unavailable at some point in time and you will have to act as president, commander-in-chief. When President Mahama was vice president, he acted as president on many occasions, same as Bawumia. So in truth, a vice president is not a mere mate, but a co-driver. The difference is that the co-driver needs a license like the driver. The mate doesn't need it. It's not a requirement. And the co-driver is there supporting the driver, just like a co-pilot. So that when the driver is tired or sick, the co-driver comes in. That is the work of a vice president. And it is a very important role the vice president plays. And you see, in Bawumia's case, it is even special because he is the vice president who has been given the greatest opportunity by any president. You know that in the run-up to the 2016 election, Akufo-Addo spoke freely about his handicap when it comes to economic management. And he said that, look, I am not an economist. The reason why I am bringing this young man to come and help me as my vice is because he's an economic wizard. And he spoke about how he helped Kufuor at Bank of Ghana to redenominate the cedi and all that. And said, this is the man we need to stabilize the cedi, to turn the economy around. And that is why Akufo-Addo made him chairman of the economic management team. And Bawumia himself says on his website, if you read his profile, he says, I'm the chairman of the economic management team and vice president of Ghana. And as chairman of the economic management team, I'm responsible for shaping and implementing the economic policies of government. The man who says he's responsible for shaping, formulating, implementing economic policies now says, I'm a mere mate. How can that be possible? That is he running away from the economy, having realized that he has failed. Because after 100 days of the MPP being in office, he held a press conference and said he had arrested the dollar and given the keys to the IGP. Today, the dollar has broken jail. Whether the dollar was kept in his Sawam or we don't know, but we know that the dollar has broken jail. And he has remained dead silent about the economy. You don't hear him talking about the economy these days. He's talking about, something totally different. So clearly that tells you that this is a man who will not take responsibility when you give him the nod. Look at President Mahama. Dumso was a problem he inherited. Because as I explained, you recall you are far older, far experienced. Under Rawlings, in the 80s, we had Dumso. In 1999, before the election, we had Dumso. In 2004, under Kufuor, we had Dumso. That was when he sent the pastors to Akosombo to go and pray, because at the time Akosombo was the main thing giving us the power and the rains were not coming. And because it's hydro, it was affecting generation. So this problem was there and successive governments had not dealt with it at its roots. President Mahama didn't make excuses. He didn't run away from responsibility. He said, I take responsibility for doing so and I'll fix it. And he fixed it. Fixed it so much that Bawumia had an interview on Joy FM in March of 2016 and said even though Mahama has fixed Dumso, he deserves no credit for that.
Because he caused it.
Because he caused it. I'm very happy that you remember. And he fixed it so much that today he's accused as having given the country excess power.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is a man who takes responsibility. Unlike Bawumia, who projected himself as the economic messiah we needed, held many lectures in this country, asked the former Vice President, Mr. Atta, 170 questions. Why did he ask Mr. Atta 170 questions and not the president? If a vice president is a mere mate, why did he ask Mr. Atta that? Why Mr. Atta they are not when you meet now? You see the duplicity and the inconsistency, the double standards and hypocrisy. So clearly, because he knows he has failed, he cannot campaign on the basis of his track record relative to the economy, which is the main job he was entrusted with. He's now shaking responsibility and saying he's a mere mate. But okay, assuming without admitting that you're a mere mate. Mates play a very important role, Jose. They play a very important role. Because the driver drives, but the mate is the one who tells the driver that this is where we are going. Mate nepai, Madina Adenta onepai. The mate is the one who collects the cash. The mate is the one who will give you the change. The mate is the one who will tell the driver that we are at the right place, you need to stop. So if you, the mate, the driver is driving recklessly and you don't correct the driver, you don't even do your work well, and at the end of the day, the driver lands us into a ditch. You want we, the passengers, to trust the mate of the driver, Banza, to drive us out of the ditch that he looked on unconcerned for his boss, the driver, to plunge us into? Definitely no. We will go back to that experienced driver who has a license, who has done it before, than trusting a mate of a driver, Banza. So whether he is a mere mate or a co-driver, it still doesn't help him. The most important thing is that you were vice president. You made a lot of promises in opposition, held a lot of lectures, headlined all the economic-related programs of the MPP, propounded a lot of lofty theories. You were given the opportunity to serve. Account for that. How far with the dollar? What about even the CFA? In 2016, you know, a lot of our mothers, they don't work with dollar. They work with the CFA. They go to Burkina, Niger, Togo to bring in products. So the CFA is what is important for them. And in 2016, if you needed 1 million CFA, you just needed 6,500 cedis. Today, if you need the same 1 million CFA, do you know how much you need? 27,000 cedis. 27, from 6,500 to 27. So no matter the currency, at first, it was John Mahama. Everything that wasn't going well was John Mahama. Then they moved from John Mahama and then they came to COVID. You complain about stomach ache, COVID-19. Headache, COVID-19. Our roads have been abandoned, COVID-19. Everything COVID-19. Then from COVID, Russia, Ukraine. You understand? So it's been, flimsy excuses upon flimsy excuses, not taking responsibility for the mandate we gave them. And that is the more reason why we must bench them. We must give them the red card for them to go and sit aside. For leaders who are ready to bite the bullet, accept responsibility, take the right actions to come into office. People with the right vision.
How
People
do you
with the right vision.
assess their bravery, their perseverance, that in spite of everything that you have said, you say, we still break the 8. What's your assessment of that?
Talk is cheap. The young men say, Kasai and Frama, talk is air. Anybody can say anything. There is only one thing that gives them that confidence. It is because of the relationship, the close relationship they have with the current leaders of the electoral management body. I'm talking about G. Mensah, Bosman Asare, Apia J. and Co., those people. So they know that they will be third time lucky in manipulating the electoral process. But they will be highly disappointed this time around. Because like I said, President Mahama has also set a time without number. We are going into this election with one motto: vigilance, vigilance, and vigilance. And we are leaving no stone unturned. From the polling station to the constituency level, where we do the constituency collation, all the way to the regional level and to the national level. We will make sure that every ballot is counted for the one the ballot was cast for and declared as such. And that nothing will be done to manipulate the process. That does not mean that we are going to engage in violence. No, we're a peace-loving party. But we are going to be vigilant, and we are going to insist for the laws, the rules that we all agree to be strictly adhered to. And we are putting the right measures in place. President Mahama, his topmost priority today is the recruitment, training and retraining of loyal, number one, competent and reliable polling agents, because that is where the work starts. And most of the things they do in the Ashanti region, I tell you this time around, they are not going to get away with it. We are going to make sure that we stop them. And once that is done, I have no doubt in my mind that the NDC will not only win, but will win resoundingly, because it is clear, the signs are clear on the wall.
I just recently, during Napo's being adored, what's his name? Wuntumi, said they have 1 million ways to win. Did you hear that?
Tell the NDC people, we have 1 million ways to win 2024 elections. We have 1 million ways to win 2024 elections, and we are ready.
Well, sometimes you see, they just have to say certain things to ginger their base and to give them the hope. Yes, when they came to Asenov, they said they had 1 million ways of winning. And they came with trucks full of money. And I was very integral in that election. I was the campaign manager for the NDC's campaign. And I saw what they did. The weedy size, the warranting booths, the cutlasses, the money. They were distributing money like I can't say. I was distributing money, 200 Ghana cedis notes. The media reported it. The people themselves spoke about it. But you see, people are discerning. People are discerning. The days when you could convince somebody to vote for you with salt are long gone. People are discerning. They are thinking about their future, the future of their children and their children's children. So people can take your money and vote against you, and that is what happened at Asenov. That is why when they say they have 1 million ways of winning elections, I tell them that the word to the wise is in Asenov. When the people of this country demonstrated that it doesn't matter about the inducement, we will vote in good conscience. We will look at what is good for our community. We will vote for development. We will vote for justice. We will vote for the truth. You understand?
Yeah.
And I have no doubt in my mind that if these are the factors majority of the electorate are going to consider in making their choice, John Mahama will be victorious, because not only does he have that proven track record, as vice president like Bawumia, President Mahama supervised our best economic performance in history, at least in the history of the Fourth Republic. Many don't know that the highest economic growth rate Ghana ever had was in 2011, when John Mahama was vice president and chairman of the economic management team, 14.4%. Many don't know that the only time Ghana chalked single-digit inflation for 33 consecutive months was under John Mahama as vice president. He didn't say I was a mere mate. Yes, he had a boss, but he was not running away from responsibility. In one breath, Bawumia probates. In another breath, he reprobates. So when it is good, oh, yes, the credit should go to me, digitalization champion. Meanwhile, the can be as well. When it is not good, oh, no, it's Akufo-Addo, I was a mere mate. Well, you can't have somebody like that at the helm of affairs. No, not at all. So in terms of track record, President Mahama beats them all in terms of even his track record as vice president. As president, we know. And this time around, his main, or if you like, the overarching vision is to create jobs and opportunities for especially young people. When you talk to John Mahama, that is what you hear him talk about today. And that is why he's so passionate about the 24-hour economic policy, which according to organized labor is a game changer. Ghana Union of Traders Association have said same. The Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, they've all said same. This is what Ghana needs. We cannot do the same things over and over again and expect different results. There must be a reset of the economy. There must be a paradigm shift, and that is the 24-hour economy. Because President Mahama is saying that it will take us decades to come out of the economic quagmire we've been plunged into by this government if we stick to the traditional 8-hour work shift system. No, it will take us a lot of time.
And not to cut you, but Bawumia is eager to debate Mahama to prove to him that the 24-hour economic
is it done debating?
24-hour thing is just a hoax.
Is it done debating the dollar? He should start with that one. And then when he's done, he should debate fuel prices, which just crossed 15 cedis. You understand? Today, a liter of diesel is more expensive than a gallon of diesel under John Mahama. You know the liter is like 5 tall bottle, and the gallon is like this. And the gallon we're buying it 14, 15 cedis under Mahama. Today we are buying the liter, that small bottle, at almost 15 cedis, and you say you want a debate. Look, he has no moral authority to call for a debate, first of all, because as recent as 2016, when John Mahama called for a debate, he replied for Akufo-Addo, and the tape is there, that John Mahama should go and debate suffering Ghanaians first and answer his 170 questions before they would debate John Mahama. They never debated John Mahama. Then PP cannot choose when they will debate and when they will not debate. Consistency is important. So if at all there has to be a debate, it shouldn't be at the instance of Bawumia, the one who said, Bahama, answer my 170 questions and debate suffering Ghanaians before I will debate, Akufo-Addo will debate you. Has he finished answering his 170 questions? They are more relevant today than they were then. Has he finished debating national service personnel who are not being paid their paltry allowances? NAPCO beneficiaries who are owed 9 months of arrears? Nursing trainee graduates who have been sitting home since 2020? Has he finished debating them? Has he finished debating the young people on the street who are losing hope in Ghana because they have no jobs? The high unemployment rate. So we are holding him to the standard he set in 2016. He cannot approbate from that. But if another body, okay, credible body, comes up with that proposal that they want to organize a debate, I believe that President Mahama and the NDC will evaluate it and will come up with a clear position. Many look at the answer we are giving now and they say the NDC is running away from a debate. No, the Bawumia will not set questions for us to answer. He will not determine the rules of engagement. He has no such moral right to call for that debate, because what he's doing is sheer hypocrisy. You cannot say in 2016 that go and debate suffering Ghanaians. Why today Ghanaians are not suffering? Is he done debating them? He doesn't even have the courage to engage the media and open himself up for questions like President Mahama did. For close to 4 years, they have refused to engage the media. You know that it's been a convention that every year the President Kufuor started it, meet the press. He will meet the media, put before them his vision, update them on what he's doing, and allow for questions. They stopped doing that because they know that they will be embarrassed by the journalist. Okay, so we don't have time for him. We are more focused on more important things. But if another body comes up calling for a debate, President Mahama at the right time will give the appropriate response. But for me, it's all about who you can trust. It's all about who has that proven track record. It's about who has that vision that can bring about the transformation we seek. And so far, if you followed Bawumia's campaign, it's been Mumfesti and Emame. That's all. Nothing. There's
Sammy
no
Jeffy,
punishment.
put your hands together. Sammy, I wish I could extend, but it will be fair to you, but you have to promise to
Most definitely. If my uncle summons me, I have no excuse.
Okay.
I have to show up. So any day, any time, once I'm in the country, once I'm in Accra, I will make the time.
I have all these witnesses, so I have all these witnesses. Hey, if my uncle summons me, I have no excuse. Absolutely. So my summon, I come and say it right here on there. Say, I even played the clip. But
I won't be like Bawumia. I'll stick to my way.
So thank you so much for joining us, and it's been really, really, really much of a pleasure for me. And people may not know that this is the first time I'm seeing you. You know, it looks like I know you.
Yeah,
but
I have been seeing you for many years on TV. And let me also, on behalf of many young people who you have touched and blessed, thank you for all you do for this country. We are most grateful.
Oh, thank you very much. And on that note, we have come to another end of another sizzling show. Put your hands together for him one more time. As I say, we are out of. Let the whole world say, yeah.
The KSM Show.